It just happened. All of a sudden, Hidon's arm locks from the back became the most devastating threat and guaranteed victory in his whole arsenal. So guess what I did? I dedicated my life to deciphering it and defending against it. But guess what happened? As soon as I started to figure out how to defend the arm locks for 15, 20 seconds, he dedicated his life to choking me. And as he choked me, I tried to survive. He combined the two, and then it was done deal anyways. So, moral of the story. 1 submission is good. 2 submissions is better. 2 submissions in combination is impossible to deal with if the person using them knows how to flow back and forth very well. Check out Hidon's choke to arm lock combination. Weak side, remember, all triple threat and all double threats happen from the weak side. So, get your arm back inside, buddy. Good. Show me the actual choke switch, so I can see how you always threaten the neck right here.
You just grab my wrist here.
Correct. If I start grabbing Hidon, just ripping right now, but if I don't, Hidon's going to be still a major threat.
I grab the collar to make him grab my wrist. Grab my wrist.
Because if I don't, guess what happens? Little lapel choke, game over right here. So Iwar one-handed rear naked choke. There's no gi. The arm lock from the back is a no gi technique. Okay, we're wearing the gis right now because we want you to see how they connect to these lapel chokes. But the move itself can be gi, no gi. Okay, like most of the techniques, they're universal.
You grab my wrist right here. He can grab my wrist like this.
Boom. Hidon separated it so quick.
So,
okay. But if they're tighter here, Hidon would normally go for an immediate choke threat. This is a good procedure to follow. As they go in and grab your hand and start ripping off for dear life, okay, Hidon will continue to insist on the choke. They're going to fight to do it. He's going to straighten his hand and grab my wrist on the way out backwards like that. And right now, Hidon's hand has extreme leverage in keeping it out because his shoulder is wedged against his tricep, bicep, shoulder. This area of his arm is literally wedged against my neck, meaning he's not bent arm, holding it in the sky, weak leverage. So look at the stiff arm. That stiff arm is a very good little kind of spring hold right there. And then with my hand just in the sky, he steps his calf over it and pinches it tight. Tight knee, tight foot on my hip. His foot goes back to my hip right there. Now, while the person tries to decipher this, boom, he takes it. So the key is, how do you get his hand out easily? You make the threat real. The more real Hidon's threat is, the more I must respect it, otherwise I get choked. So while I'm fighting for my life, Hidon keeps trying, pull, maybe hold my wrist over here to make it very real, and then he completely straightens it out, turn it and grab it. And when I say turn it and grab it, go back, don't turn it, don't just throw it out, but don't grab my wrist. If he throws it out, I can come around the corner so easily. Okay? But when Hidon turns and grabs, the 1 split second I try to go around the corner, he's hooked on it. And trust me, it literally is 1 split second, because at the time he straightens it out, go ahead full speed.
When my arm straightens, my legs are already moving.
There is no pause.
They both move together. So you're never going to go like this and hold it out here.
He'll be gone. He'll figure his way out. He'll figure his way back out. So the only thing that keeps my hand out for that split second is my instinctive rip. And Hidon's accommodative movement, and now he's got me. And by the time I decipher this, I may get my hand out. By the time I do, though, Hidon's already chopping and going heavy leg, heavy leg. Any questions?
You could go again, please. He could go here. I'm holding the wrist, pull. I feed it, trap it, and come right back in for the collar.
Oh my goodness. Easy. Any choke you can dream of right now. Look, hold my wrist. I can't even itch my nose right now. Okay? I'm completely helpless when he has both wrist and arm trapped right here. 100% control of everything. Absolutely. Okay? They ready? Isolate and step over there. Go back. There is one catch. If I hug this leg of Hidon's, if I hug it, he's not going to go back over my head.
So if that happens, go back to the lapel choke for now.
There will be a triangle in the near future. Okay? Or second strike. Blue belt.
That's near future.
Near future. Okay? But it's not the most likely to be used right now or the most important. It's arm lock choke combo. And if he grabs your leg, means go for the arm lock. Go for the arm lock. He can't step over my head right now. Look. Because I'm holding the leg. Go ahead and do it. Push my head away. Can't. Go back. So, from here, he holds the leg. Hidon goes back to a lapel. Push, pull. Game over. Okay? And again, it's all combined. If Hidon does the lapel, and the person starts panicking and pushing across, he can go for the leg. Game over as well. Can you try, please? So, from here, boom. foot angle. Okay? Here, I start to go for the threat on the neck. Why not go straight for the arm lock? Because if he don't on his knees kind of propped up here, and I go right now, he might go to his knees. So I want to get his mind off of the arm lock. And the other value of this arm isolation setup, okay, where you separate the arms, is that Hidon's shoulders are more supine. They're more facing up versus here. See how they're sideways now? That's another kind of value or benefit of separating the hands first. Defend your neck, please. As he starts grabbing, really go for the choke. Maybe go for the choke again. Keep trying. Keep trying to get inside, and then throw it out. Look how I do this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm turning it out, and I'm grabbing. Bring your hand from there back to your neck. No, keep your elbow close to your body, please. Keep your elbow in, bring the hand back. You can't. Normally, you want to keep their elbow tight to their body, so when I throw it out, he tries to fight his hand back to his neck. That's just enough. That's all I need. Okay, it's 1 split second. Point being, the more aggressive you are on the neck right here, the more real they are on the pull, the easier this is. Trap it. Go right back to the choke right here if they grab your leg. Finish right here. Or if they're trying to come under your leg right here and get out. 1, 2. Boom, yeah. We got it. So we're going for the choke. Lapel choke or rear naked choke. Gi or no gi, we don't care. If they're grabbing and pulling the hands off, hold the wrist. So he only has one hand to defend with. And that one hand, you're going to fight, fight, fight. The most common mistake of all time on the arm isolation is, go back, don't defend the neck that well. Basically grab my wrist but don't pull that hard. Is not going for the choke real enough, so when you go to push the arm out, they feel it, they resist it. And I can't get his arm out. No, put it this way, you don't get his arm out. He gets his own arm out. He throws his own arm out. You just help him along the way. How do you make someone throw their own arm out? Choke, for real. Get inside, he defends, boom, he goes. And now I come back to the neck, or 1. Look how I make a little adjustment right here. A little adjustment. Now, I think we understand. All of this, though, relies on a good hip scoop. The hips got to be out. We discussed it in the triple threat class, the triple threat control class. But it should be re-emphasized here. If you didn't go back and review the triple threat control, or it's not fresh in your mind, let's rotate one time so they see how incredibly important this angle is here. From here, when you're in the triple threat position, foot on the hip, boom, look at this. I'm going to push down, and watch how far my hips will come from his hips. Boom. Look at that. I'm like, he's basically in my lap right now. He's basically very low in my lap. And then from here, I can start to go for the neck. He defends. Boom. I'm going to throw it out and trap it. Let go. Keep my calf tight. While he tries to figure it out, go over there.
And even if he figures it out, even if his hand comes back through, it doesn't matter.
It's not the end of the world. Go back to the choke. Go back to the arm lock. It's all good.
Yeah, well, I'm saying your leg's already flying.
Yes.
For the arm lock.
And it's your leg versus his arm. So he comes back in. His arm is coming to save him. Your leg is coming to chop his head. Who's going to win? The leg. Every time. Okay? So angry legs. He don't take the first slice, and it's worth mentioning again now. The weight of that leg is so critical. It has to be a heavy leg landing on the neck. I think we get it. So we can go for the arm as a primary, or we can go for the arm as a backup to a failed choke, or we can go to a choke, back to the choke on a failed arm lock. So you can see the double threat is beginning to sort of live here. Anytime you run into troubles with the arm lock, let's say he grabs your leg. You isolate it, but he holds on to it. No more arm lock, go back to the choke. As you're choking, he's going to let go of your leg to come back inside. And as he does that, he forgets the arm lock. As long as each as long as each threat is legitimate on their own, it's hard to hide from both. Imagine if you had to fight 2 people, and there was one in front of you and one behind you at all times. Front, back. You can't address both fully at the same time.
And they're both legitimate threats. Legitimate people.
Hidon's in front of you and I'm behind you.
You're going to lose.
If we just Hidon, you would lose. The point is, though, 2 legitimate threats, one in front, one in back. You can't address both at the same time. You'd be the best fighter in the world, and you can address one at a time, but not at the same time both. Or at least we haven't learned that technique yet. Maybe our dad's keeping it from us. Maybe he's waiting until we're mature enough to understand the true power. But anyways, you guys get the idea. You can't defend arm locks 100% and address chokes 100%. Therefore, an effective double threat, double attack sequence is so hard to deal with. So hard. You guys get it. Practice it. We're going for the choke, isolate, real choke, isolate, arm lock. And then if they grab your leg, choke, back to the choke, back to the arm, back to the choke. Play with the sequence a little bit, and then reverse rolls. You guys understand? Here we go.